Oh, got to get rid of this music here, guys. Sorry about that.
Listen to little Jesse James
Little
Dupree,
bit
Jackal.
Yeah,
How
Jesse James
is
Dupree.
everyone? Yes. So has Melissa put you in the corner for your birthday?
Well, guys, it's really
Tuesday.
not my birthday. It's Tuesday, but since Tuesday we will not be going live, and
Right.
next Saturday we will not be going live because we will be going out of town
Yeah.
for my birthday.
That is the plan.
That is
Good
the
Lord
plan.
willing.
You know, man
Yeah.
plans, God laughs. You know,
Yeah.
so. But well, you know, you're not going to sit here and see me get, you know, belligerent, if that's what you're hoping for tonight, guys. No, we're going to be a very, very low key and calm.
And the reason that is, we're kind of on the tarred side, not tarred and feathered, but
although there's, you know, there's ones out there that would love to do that to us. You know,
I'm sure they would.
But
New England
we've
PDA.
been doing some projects. Hey, Colleen.
Colleen.
Hey, Chris. And we was working on some projects today. And, yeah. Drywalling. Yeah, the ceiling fixed. Finally getting around to.
Of course, I'm the supervisor.
That, and she supervises.
Wink, wink.
Which, you know, there's really not much she can help do. Hold until I got the screws up in there, and then the rest of it was all me. So
it was all a wall repair from plumbing.
Yeah, back. You all remember
wall
that.
And ceiling.
And we have never been.
Hey, Cynthia.
We have never been able to find anyone to come in.
Too small job and not a moneymaker.
Yeah, so we just chalked it up. Let's just do it ourselves. And right now it's drying. Yeah, and I got to go in and do some sanding, a little bit more putty, some sanding, some painting, and then we'll do the
good to see you.
You know, the texture. And so, right now it looks great. I think
it does. It's a big improvement over that hole we had.
The hole looking up through the ceiling at the pipes running through the.
Let's see. Have we said hello to everyone? We got Bill Paparouse, what's in the dirt.
Cynthia Swearingen.
5 Mile in here.
5 Mile, Texas Plug Riches.
Yes, we
Brian
do.
Euler, thanks for joining everyone. There's New England PDA. Let's go up through here and see if we missed anywhere. There's Clark's Cove Detecting.
Who in the world let them folks in? I think we've said hello to everyone. Good to have you and see everybody.
For sure. But yeah, we're just going to hang out here for a little while this evening. And it's been in the heat right now, guys. Thank goodness we have some videos in, you know, whatever you want to call it,
in the archives.
So thank goodness we keep videos.
I clean these glasses. They look like I got Vaseline on.
Clean them with
butter, I guess.
Baby diaper.
Don't have no babies.
Dirty baby diaper. Hey, Tom Kingery.
Hey, Tom. Good to see you.
And so we haven't really been out detecting any. We have been out.
Yes, humidity.
Scouting out.
I dig Good to see
sites. That's of course, I've told you all the story a million times that our town is condemning a lot of old houses, boarding them up, and so we've been driving around, scouting out some of these houses with the City of Huntington demolition sticker on them. So we've got to cut one right down the road from us that we discovered yesterday.
Yeah, walking distance.
Too daggone hot to get out. Hey, I dig sheet and steel wool queen. Thanks for stopping by. And it's just too hot to get out right now, but we have a few videos. Did
you say hello to Jimmy Cloak?
Jimmy Cloak. I probably did not.
Probably not.
Jimmy Cloak, hello.
Hello, Jimmy Cloak.
But like I said, we got some videos. So
we do have some videos. In fact, we're going to talk here in just a little bit about a couple of things we've done the past couple of weeks.
We did do some creek hunting, which you all will see that in the future.
I don't know. I dig sheet. I tagged you in the short. I did. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Yes.
He watches stuff more than I do.
Yes, I did.
Rambling around.
Melissa found this milk jar.
half
Not
pint.
not with the marbles in it.
No,
guys.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, not with the marbles in it. But we found this in the creek, and it was whole. It doesn't have any embossing on it other than it just says half pint liquid
Yeah.
on it right there.
It was just covered in green ook from the
Yeah,
water, and
and
I had to soak it to get all that
I
off.
did find another Coke bottle. I've got it sitting back here. We had found the one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Go back right there. The one.
They're not gonna be able to see.
Yeah, I know they can't see it. And then there's another one right there. This one, the one had Kentucky on it. Well, I found one and it had Huntington, West Virginia on
Yes,
it. Of course,
Cynthia,
it
it is.
dates
Thank you,
back to the
Tracy.
50s. So,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty cool. And then Melissa's, one of the ladies she works for, give Melissa a little package of marbles that she said belonged to her brother. And she is
This
90,
lady is 90, and her brother's
90,
already deceased.
and they
of
already
course.
deceased. So she let Melissa have that little package of
They're in a fishing lure
they're
box.
in a fishing lure box. We're going to find a new home for them. So
Jim still wants to know. So Robert is the one who needs spanked. Ha ha.
me.
57 times.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she just asked, "What's the birthday age, old man?"
Yeah, hey, ain't no old man here.
He's OG.
Yeah, 57, and we
Hey,
ain't
Mike.
we do
Demi
not
Llama.
reverse that to 75. No, we don't do that. So, because some of them people say, "Well, what's your age if you reversed it?" Well, not 75, guys.
Not 75.
Far from 75, and still going.
Just
pretty
2 years
good.
older than Tracy.
Still doing pretty good.
And I dig sheet is 48. I remember 48. It's been a few years back for me.
I ain't even got there yet.
I have my grandfather's and great grandfather's marbles, but I seem to have lost my own.
Don't feel bad.
Your great grandfather's marbles. Wow.
Yeah, 84. F that. Exactly.
And New England PDA just turned 47.
47.
Well, happy late birthday, New England PDA.
Yeah, mine's Tuesday, but I'm I ain't really celebrating, my goodness.
Didn't celebrate mine.
After so many of them.
Just wanted pizza here at home.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing Tuesday. We're going to make homemade breakfast.
He wants breakfast pizza with sausage gravy as the base on top of the crust. And of course, eggs, peppers.
Scrambled eggs with peppers, onions, and mushrooms.
Yep.
And then covered with bacon, and then sharp cheddar cheese, and then some French toast sticks on the side.
Stillwell Queens is reversed either way, 44. And Jim still says he wish he could go back to 65. Now, is that 65 years old or 1965, Jim?
Yeah. I think he probably wanted to go back to 1965.
I bet he would. Tracy says she's coming for breakfast. You come right on. Have you got any mail from us yet, Tracy? It should have arrived today.
Came today.
But of course, it was a post office box, so you may not have went and collected it yet. Cynthia says, I like this idea of backwards. I'd be 36. It's hard to believe that Cynthia is 63. She doesn't seem to be 63. Jim still says, I can remember the 50s.
Not me. I don't remember.
Oh, because you was born in 68.
Oh, that's right.
But guys,
I forgot there for a moment.
Getting back to this jar of marbles.
Excuse me.
Robert
please.
Didn't get to finish the story on this because
I didn't know there was anything else to finish about
That's
that.
right, because he didn't find anything that day other than the Coke bottle.
I checked early this morning, nothing, but it was early.
Okay. Mark the Bird Hunter. Hello, how are you?
BS, Mark. You ain't no
You're
28.
only 28.
You in your wildest dream, you're 28. Even in that dream, you're not.
But anyhow, getting back to these marbles.
You know we love you, Mark.
Yes, he knows that. These marbles are just odds and ends that we've had. Stuff we've picked up along the way. Nothing creek marbles as far as that goes. But of course, the jar was found.
No, all our creek marbles are up here and in the little cup right there.
Liar, liar, tails on fire. Yeah. But the day I found the bottle and Robert found his Coke bottle, of course, we had walked the creek that we usually walk, but a different section this time. Hey, Maddie's Nifty Creations. Good
Thanks
to see
for
you.
Stopping by.
And so we walked
I know
a different
you're not
section.
blue, but it's a pain in the butt for me to do it from here, but I will get you blued in.
We only walked a couple hours. We didn't walk long that day. But anyhow, we got down in the creek, and Robert and I have a little pattern. He takes one side, I take one side, and then we kind of zigzag back and forth.
Zigzag back and forth through the water.
That way, one of us may spot something that the other may have missed.
Oh, she was there the other day, man. She had the eyes.
I had the eyes.
They weren't any marble is spectacular.
Yes.
But there wasn't nothing really spectacular. She had a couple of patches, but now that last one, I think that was what they call an ox blood.
It looked like a swirl of peppermint, white
but
base.
It was really,
and that red was really like blood.
Like
so I
blood.
think it's an ox blood.
What I've seen, I think it was what they call an ox blood marble.
They're already put in a cup, and our camera does not show detail good, but the video will be out in July. Yeah, July.
Next month sometime.
But anyhow, I found 3 round.
Man, I walked right
marbles,
over the one.
And I told Robert on that third one.
Me.
Yeah.
Robert, look at what you just walked over. Like,
I seen that, just that little bit of color and that perfect roundness, but yet it had green on it.
Oh, yeah.
And the next marble I found was green in color, green and clear with clear base.
I should have took it and threw it down the creek. Said there, find it again.
Wait till you see the video, folks. And then the third one, I said, Robert, bring the camera over here. He said, don't tell me you found another one. I said,
I took it and threw it down the creek.
Thank you, Cynthia. And what did he do? Just being Robert. That's all I'm going to say. Just being Robert. He deserves those 57 spanks for that. That's for certain. Well, her eyes are a lot younger than yours. Hey, on that day, they were 5 Mile. Absolutely.
She was on the money that day. Mine, I just was not. I don't know why.
And I got a little boastful, because I felt good finding those 3 marbles, which when I find them, it's us as a team.
When you're walking, when you're just walking in the creek that we're walking in and the water's running and you got light shining through and shadow sunshine and ripples, man, that is rough on the eyes to start focusing and trying to find marbles that way, guys. I mean, it is a task sometimes. Yes. I found one in our flower bed out here. I did a short on it. But you can't. I can't show you how it glows because our lighting is. But man, that thing, it glows like. Oh, it is just beautiful, glowing marble. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Hey, DF Digger. Good to see you, Dennis.
It's just a beautiful, glowing marble. And we found right out here in our flower bed while cleaning out the flower beds one day.
And it is solid uranium. It's a solid glower.
Solid uranium. I thought it was a clay marble when I first found it because it was in the dullness of it. Because it looked, and then once I got it out, started cleaning it up, and then I could see the little pits in it where they've played with it or something, whatever make them little round, I guess, where they've been playing marbles with it. And
I would assume, or where it, no, it's not been dug in the flower bed.
Not been dug. Those were where they played little marks all over. It was where they've been playing marbles with it.
Yeah, because those
got it cleaned up and realized, no, this is not a clay marble. This is a completely uranium marble. And when we brought it in and got the blue light over it, man, it just I wish you all could see how that thing glows.
Someday we will have to try and tweak our lighting.
I don't know how we do it.
I know it. 5 Mile says, I think I found a black marble a while back. Have you ever seen or found one?
Oh, well, no, but we've seen a bunch made.
We've seen a bunch made.
But usually like a black marble would probably be from maybe like a Chinese checkers board or so. I don't know. Was there black ones? There was yellow,
I don't
blue,
know.
red, green.
I don't know.
And I don't know if there was black ones or not.
Hold it up to the light 5 mile and see if there's any
if you
type
can
of
see
streak through it. Hey, Face the Ace. Good to
and
see you.
See if you can see anything through it
Yeah.
at all, because it might not be completely black. It might actually have a pattern through it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't, like I said,
Doing
I don't
well.
know if there
You?
was any if black was in the Chinese checkers or not.
I don't know.
And you know, of course, we've talked about it in your spray cans. Yeah, that's a marble in there. It might only be a clear marble,
Uh-huh.
but
It's a marble,
it's
none
a
the
marble.
same. Absolutely.
But usually they're just a clear. There'll be a clear
Yeah.
marble, but those are marbles.
But
So if you had ever come across an old dump site where there was a lot of old spray paint cans, oh yeah,
start scutching around in there.
I'd be getting them through and seeing if they
wasn't already rusted.
Well, yeah, if they hadn't marble hadn't fell out of them, but
Mhm.
if they wasn't rusted and you can still hear it in there, man, yeah, that'd be. Yeah, but don't go get a new paint can and start beating on it to get the marble out of it.
Result might not be
Do
very
not, 'cause
well.
you could lose fingers or something possibly.
Yes.
So please be safe.
Oh.
Don't get. Oh, I'm going to start busting spray paint cans.
Talking about losing fingers, now I'm going to tell something on Robert that he did today while cutting and trimming up some sheetrock. He had that little handsaw. Bless his heart. He was cutting towards him and toward his hand where he was holding, and I thought, oh,
no, it's there, guys.
But he's not very safe at times. That's all I'm saying.
My husband hates when I get paint cans from the dumpster.
I bet you make him get the marbles out, don't you, Cynthia?
But yeah, always remember that, guys. Those rattle in them paint cans
It's a marble.
are a marble.
Absolutely. It is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I remember as a kid getting marbles out of paint cans.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now
I know Robert was talking about, we've been doing research. Hey, PA Patriot.
Patriot prospecting.
On the condemned houses. And what we will do, we will get out and say, well, let's drive around this certain block in town, looking for the addresses with the posted signs of condemned houses. But we also, the houses that also may have a posting on it, but we've been investigating that a little bit further. It has not been condemned yet, so it's still owned by the property owner. But it will start out with the state police will put a posting on there saying unable to maintain property. So therefore they're letting it grow up or trash. So the state police takes the first move, and then it moves on to the city. And then it talks about the taxes that are due and that the owner, and it prints the owner's name, lets them know they're responsible. But once that time passes, then it goes to being condemned. So they give the owner a chance to maintain it. But
yeah, I spoke to a man the other day.
Yeah, so that's how that works.
At a house that we've been wanting to detect, but it's chained up. The the gates were chained up. The other day I went through there and he was sitting there on his porch. And so I pulled in and was talking to him and asking him if we could metal detect the yard. And he said, yeah, go for it. And he said, they're getting ready to turn that house back, just turn it over to the city. He said, I'm done. He said, they done come in and ripped the floors out. And
it's a nice 2-story home.
He said, we just had new flooring put in the house not too long ago, and they've done come in, ripped the floors out to get all the copper piping, and they stripped the air conditioning unit.
Air conditioning unit was just a shell.
He said, I'm done. He said, I'm done with it. He said, so we're cleaning the yard up and turning this house back over to the city. So if you want to metal detect it, go for it. It's already been detected once, but you can go ahead and do it. So, yeah. But yeah, people are just getting.
It is a shame, Cynthia.
And it's a beautiful house. I mean, if someone had the money, I hear you there,
Hey,
Jim.
that's just a few years away, Jim Steele. He'd be condemned before me.
No, I mean,
Failure to maintain.
No, I ain't failing to maintain here, guys. Trust me.
Oh, shoot. But it is sad. I mean,
my detector works just fine.
Jeez. Anyway.
Maybe I should say my pinpointer works just fine. You okay over there? Why are you blushing for? I know they can't see it, but I can.
I was trying to talk business and shop, and you're going off on something else.
I'm not going. I was talking metal. You heard pinpointer and metal detector.
Okay.
You did not hear anything going off subject.
Cynthia found something awful funny.
Well, hey.
And it's not me.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it is sad. It is sad that some of the houses, I can see why the city should not have let them go as long as they did. But our new mayor is cracking down on things, definitely. Yeah. But I can see why a lot of them have been condemned.
Oh my gosh.
But now there are some, if you had a little cash on you,
yeah, but
they could be repaired and fixed, but it would be a lot of work. But there's some really nice places that are being just forgotten about.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that happens in every town, every city.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. My boss says that's why Vaseline on it.
Oh man. You guys are, I don't know about you.
Happy birthday, Robert.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what have you guys been into over? Well, first off, happy Father's Day to all you dads out there tomorrow.
All the dads are having a good Father's Day weekend.
Absolutely.
I hope the moms are taking you out to nice restaurants, or at least fixing you a very nice meal. Definitely.
I guess if I was to cook you a meal here at home,
bring me my meal.
It would probably be chicken and dumplings and mashed potatoes.
That's not what I would want.
That's what I would want, though. That's what
I want my birthday meal.
Oh, I know, but I'm the cook.
You fix what you want for my birthday meal.
Yeah,
Don't work that
you
way,
breakfast
man.
Pizza.
Hey, that's right. I'm getting breakfast pizza. You ain't getting none of it.
Yeah, he informed me that was all his breakfast
you're getting
pizza.
Anything.
But the cook always has to sample.
Yeah, I'll be the one doing most of the cooking on it, though.
He will be helping to prep.
The bacon, I always do the bacon.
He always does the bacon.
Perfect, crunchy. And, a lot of people, have their different preferences on how they like their bacon.
Yep. I don't like mine flabby.
I like mine crispy, where it just is.
Like you make bits out of it.
Yeah, you can crunch it and make bacon bits out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love it where it's just ready to shatter. Because then when because I don't like a bite into a bacon sandwich and you're like, pull the damn gun, because it's still.
Excuse me, he gets F-Day meal and birthday meal and dessert. And Mark the Burgunder says my kid's taking me out to dinner.
You know what I've got so far for dessert? It was M&M's today. That was my dessert today.
It was peanut butter and jelly M&M's.
They were not peanut butter and jelly M&M's. They were peanut butter M&M's.
I thought it said peanut butter and jelly.
No, they were just peanut butter.
Okay. But I know. Oh, I am so sorry, Jim Steele. Not a good week for me. My cousin passed Sunday, and they gave my brother 2 days to live. Oh, Jim, we will definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Absolutely. You and your family.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
But I did give Robert the option. Do you want carrot cake with cream cheese frosting, or do you want apple pie? So
I see Iron Antler coming in.
I see Iron Antler and Jimmy LaCarge.
What do you all guys think?
You all make the
Uh,
decision what I'm fixing.
Actually, it's red velvet cake.
Oh, not carrot.
Or
okay,
carrot.
sorry.
Red velvet or carrot cake.
Okay.
Is the two.
No
not
apple pie. Okay.
But
hey, Joel, Drummond Detect. Good to see you.
It's red velvet. I either want red velvet or carrot cake.
You all decide, red velvet or carrot cake. An iron antler.
Yeah, you stick around for just
a moment if you have a moment.
Some shop about that item that you all found. So we'll show you a couple of examples.
Iron Antler is saying carrot cake.
Carrot cake.
Oh, he loves carrot cake.
That's me. I'm absolutely carrot cake, and of course you got to have the big thick cream cheese frosting all over it, man. I mean, it just ain't carrot cake without that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have her make me a carrot cake for my birthday or something like that, or maybe some carrot cake muffins.
That'd be different with cream cheese frosting.
Cheese frosting, like a cupcake.
Yeah.
Muffin cake, whatever. Hey, Joel Drum Detect, thanks for stopping by.
And he's asking Cynthia if she's behaving. Joel,
we don't behave
the answer
here,
to that. Cynthia is not behaving.
We're bad people here. You know that, guys.
Oh,
Clark,
goodness.
Sir. We're
anyway.
Ruffians.
Okay.
Iron Antler. Iron Antler. Iron Antler premiered their video there Wednesday night, and they found this item that they didn't quite know what it was.
Risha.
And I typed in a suggestion that it could be a holder for a wall lamp. And
we've got two here.
We've got two examples.
We couldn't take the ones down that are closer to yours because the bracket that holds it is all together.
So these are in the house here, and this is one of them.
And your piece would be without the bowl.
Yep.
And without that.
And back here, this is what your wall bracket would have went down in to hold it on the wall like that. And then, of course, your lamp would sit in it like that. And, of course, you could swivel it back and forth. And then
here is another example. Yeah, more straight, not so curved.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but
so check the tip
and see if
something could have
had something like this sitting on it.
Yeah,
and then back around here if it would have something like that. So more likely, but when I seen that, we both were like, that's got to be a oil lamp wall holder bracket.
But Robert,
but there's so many variants.
There are so many, but the more I think about it, remember the lamp that Dad gave me that you broke, and it had the metal piece
and the lamp
and the globe hung like this. And this part sat on a stand.
And it would have come over and sat on a tall
stand.
So
now it could possibly be that
I don't think so.
I still think what they found was
this.
Yes.
Would have been, like I said, there are so many different varieties of this design. Yeah. This is just two of, I don't know how many we have here in the house.
We've got 5. I love to collect them. Hey, David Alfonsetti.
All kind of different designs. This is just the two that we could take down quickly and show you. But Beard Risha, more than likely that could be what you found. And if you did
this piece right here,
that's a cool, very cool find. Yeah, definitely.
I love finding the old metal like that, especially if it has a design on it. It's so beautiful. A lot of times it's from old stoves.
Does it mean I'm old if I can remember using those?
Well, you're no longer wet behind the ears, Jim Steele.
I'm getting called a punk again.
You know what, Risha? You all come on. I think after I was bragging about our creek hunt we had a couple of weeks ago, found 3 marbles. And a half-pint milk creamer, and Robert found the Coke bottle.
Yeah.
So I gloated that day, but I know revenge is coming. Oh gosh, and it's gonna be so hard. Yeah, but I had my day.
So if that's kind of that's a cool find. That is definitely. So we hope that helped you guys identify that item a little bit. we try to lend, a little bit of metal detecting, knowledge that
When we have
we
it.
can, when we can. We're not so knowledgeable as some
Ooh, I
out
hear
there.
thunder.
Yeah, we're supposed to have some storms
Yes.
this evening. Oh man, storm went through here today. We never really got nothing but rain, but it was the clouds, guys. Oh my gosh, it looked like you could almost reach right up and touch them.
I
They
love
were so
watching
low.
clouds and their shapes.
And I'm like, man, those things are low. And then last night we was sitting out on the stoop, and clouds come rolling in from the west. Oh my God, it looked like a wave. I kid you not.
Did you film it?
I tried my best to film that, but I don't know if that camera would pick it up or not.
I don't know either because
I got to upload it and see. But man, that it looked like a big wave with a breaker at the top of it rolling across the sky. I mean, it was
really different.
Kind of different. Cloud Mayor
Video Treasure Hunters metal detecting. Hey, Marlon and Aurora, good to see you
guys. Yes.
Hope all is well in your all's direction.
Yep. But yeah, it's some crazy cloud cover going on.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, it's interesting. I know if I'd have been scared to death when I was a little kid. Seeing stuff like
when
that.
I was a kid,
I think it's neat to see different cloud formations and stuff like that.
When I was a kid, I remember our back porch, when you stepped from the kitchen, you stepped onto like a breezeway, Mother called it. Then you go on outside, but it was concrete. And I don't know why, but I always wanted to run to that back porch. So when it would be getting ready to be a storm, she would make me go to bed so she could keep track of me. Yeah. We've had a crazy start to summer with all this rain. Yes, 5 Mile.
Drum Detect Robert, Google
Undulatus asperatus clouds. We'll have to review the chat and write that down. Undulatus, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's Appalachian pronunciation. Tornado watch yesterday, Marlon said.
Yeah, I seen that. Wow. Yeah.
We have had lots of strong winds.
Yeah.
But nothing has lasted any length of time.
They come through and last about 10 minutes and then they're gone.
Marty Verstahl, good to see you.
Oh, heck yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks. Yeah, birthday's, like I said, actually Tuesday. But, I won't be going live Tuesday, and we won't be going live next Saturday because we're going out of town. And so I wanted to just
that's our plan.
Just do a little, early birthday. And we ain't really doing nothing, but just hanging out here and talking whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
A little bit of shop and just.
Like I said, we are tired because we've been
doing home
drywalling today and
repair today. And
home repair and.
Yeah. And then I got a guy coming tomorrow to give me another estimate on my fence that we're probably going to end up doing ourselves.
We'd save $1,000 if we do it ourselves.
Yeah, we'd probably save $1,000 if we do it ourselves, man. So I'm going to see what he tells me though, because the two estimates I've already got are right at $2,000, and so I'm going to see if they will underbid those, and if they won't, then I'm just going to we're just going to do it ourselves. I'll go rent me an auger and save myself probably more than $1,000 actually when it comes right about down to it. So
do it yourself and get lots of sun. Yes. I tell you what, today that sun was powerful.
Yeah, when it would come out today, it rain and then clear off, and the sun come out, and of course humidity. When it does that, then it just
so hard to breathe.
Steam comes up, and you're just like, oh my, you can't even stand out there, and you're already got beads coming up on your forehead, and you're like, man, this is horrible already. Heat and stuff. So it's supposed to last a few days here.
It is.
That's
pretty much all week?
For the crap of it, it's going to last. Yeah, I think all week long here.
Yep.
I hope it does not do what it did last year here around this time. Remember, we went to Marietta on my birthday.
That's what we did last year.
It poured the rain that day, that Saturday. We come home, and it didn't. It went heat from June, July, August, September to October. We'd get little bitty spurts of rain, but nothing that would ever wet the ground enough to do anything.
Now, is that when we were in Marietta and there was a tornado watch?
Yep.
Because the electric, you were at the gas station.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So we had to sit in the truck before we could even go into the hotel room.
Yeah,
the
because
wind and rain was
rained
so
and the wind was so
bad.
hard. We sat out in the parking lot in the truck.
We did.
Yep. Because
you
couldn't get out. Yeah.
Now, those of you that have just recently joined us, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you.
Yep. Hope you're having a good weekend with Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's been dry here all spring with wildfires, so it was great to have all that rain.
Yes.
Yeah, we get, like I said, we're getting rain, but they last short periods of time, and then
it's
the
just
sun
a burst.
comes back out, and it's just miserable. Miserable.
Yep.
You don't want to do nothing. You get out and start doing anything, you're soaked. It's like, oh man, slinging it off your hands.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So check and make sure I ain't missed nothing.
I think we have said hello to everyone. I don't think we've missed anybody.
No.
Now, there was something we were going to talk about, or have we already talked about? Oh, yeah, my 3 marbles. Did I tell you about?
You know what? You will never find them 3 marbles ever again.
No, I won't find them ever again because they're over there in that cup.
Well, you won't find them over there either. I'll see to it.
Oh, wait till you see the video.
Get me a slingshot.
Cynthia, you'll be like whacking Melissa.
I will. You know I will. Get me a slingshot and go out here and go watch. Right down on the ground. Watch that little glass ball go. I say, now get you some glue and put it back together.
Yes, Marlon, marbles. We've been walking a creek here.
Yeah, here. We moved.
We moved. We're no longer at the cove
anymore. No.
We still have the cove.
We still have the cove, but we don't
We've
live
moved
there
to
anymore.
moved to the big city.
Yeah, big city. It's definitely fun. It's always entertaining.
Marty Verstahl, you probably said that right. He said, yes, remember to
so
thank you for fathers for bringing you into this world.
We've been walking the creek at our local park, which is just a couple of blocks away. And we've so far, Marlon, I think we have found, what is it to count? 15, 16 marbles out of that creek just by walking it and looking and eyeballing. I was talking about that earlier, that is a pain in the butt to do when you've got sunlight coming down through trees, you got shady parts, you got water rippling, and you're looking down at rocks. And then, of course, in these rocks, there's little the little shells, look like little clam shells everywhere.
They're just little teeny tiny ones.
Some of them will lay just right, and it looks like the top of a marble. And in some ways, they will lay, and it'll look like a ring. And I'm like, oh, ring!
We love the mudlark.
One of them daggone little shell things, and then, of course, some of the rock in there is really like pebbly, and under the water it distorts, and you'll be like, it looks like a marble, and you go down and grab it, and it's
gives you motion sickness at times.
And so that's how we've been marble hunting here lately in our creek. And man, it's rough to do. That's a hard one when you're walking a creek. That creek range is about 20 feet wide. Maybe a little wider in other areas.
In places, yes.
And it ranges from ankle deep to neck deep in places.
We just go knee deep.
We got just the knee high waders.
Hey, Mark, the senile detectorist.
And so we just been kind of walking, and we haven't even started metal detecting this creek yet, Marlon. And I know we're going to. It's just
DF has encouraged us to do that. And it's just
getting to the day that, okay, we're going to start the metal detecting. We're just enjoying right now walking it and hunting for the marbles.
Which I seen a snake skin along the creek, and then when we were walking the trail, I seen the real deal coming from the creek. So I'm like, wow.
Melissa found just this old milk bottle the other day, which it's not got any embossing on it really, other than it just says, what did I say, a half pint liquid.
Yeah, but it's a creamer.
And we found a couple of Coke bottles. One was from Ashland, Kentucky, which is right down the road from us, and one from our hometown here in Huntington. And they're from the 50s. I mean, nothing majorly old, but still cool little finds that we've been finding in that creek as we've been
and
walking.
Some pretty pieces of glass, because was a glass factory in the city.
Melissa found a little red heart one day, and it glows. And it's just a little glass heart laying there in the creek, and it glows orange. And that's a cool piece of glass that we have found out of there. So yeah, I mean, we've been having a good time in that since we've moved and in that creek. And
I have to say, guys, and I say it in my vids, our vids, not just my vid. That's Robert.
Oh no, they're your vids. You know, you're since you know. I know she's not in here. Mary's not in here. That she likes to claim that Melissa is like 99.9% of Clark's Code Detecting.
I wonder why that is, because I am.
But it's funny that you ain't the one that does the videos. Who edits the videos? And I know I might not be the best editor that ever was.
Because I'm the star of the show. But that's why you edit.
I'm not fancy. You know, I'm not into all the special effects and sound effects and stuff. You know, we're just straightforward metal detecting.
Yes.
Here's my digger. Here's my hole. Here's my find. I mean, what else really is there?
We're there to see the finds.
I'm here to show you my finds.
But we do like to show our surroundings. It's always good to see.
Yeah, you know, we try to throw in some wildlife if it's worth filming, and some, you know, nature stuff.
As my mother would say, Duke's mixture.
If I feel like it's, you know, if I see a snake, I'll film him.
Yeah.
You know, people, they cringe, but it's still cool to see snake out in the wild. Or if we see deer, we'll film them sometimes if you know, stuff like that. And we have filmed a bear before.
Yes, we have.
It's been in an older video when we was out side-by-siding, and we actually seen our first bear out side-by-siding and got a little footage for him. Yeah. Put it in a video. So,
and that snake, those of you that watched our Memorial Day video, and of course there was a snake getting ready to come out onto the trail. It got ran over seconds after Robert filmed it.
I got him and got him out of the road.
Robert got him. He was still trying to slither and move along. Fine. He was okay. Robert got him out of the road. But yes, it was just seconds after we filmed him.
I got a big stick and picked him up, and he was pissed.
Jim still says Melissa's the pretty young thing and Robert is the old photographer.
Yeah.
He's speechless, Jim.
No, I'm not. You're all just blind. Need glasses.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean, Mr. Clark?
And you doing that don't do nothing to me. I'm not a little 5-year-old kid in vacation Bible school, you know. 30 years, those looks don't work on me no more.
I do that to my.
And I can get by with saying. I used
to teach Sunday school.
See, I can get by with saying that stuff, guys, because see, like I have told you all in the past.
What has he told you all?
If you need any tips in teaching your wife, you got to call me, guys. I've got her trained.
You know, those 57 years have been real hard on you, but the next ones are going to be even harder, Mr. Clark. Oh, guys.
Oh, I thought you was ignoring me there for a moment.
Oh, no. I was not ignoring you. I was absorbing it all in. Okay. Whacking Melissa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia.
Wow. That was unreal, wasn't it?
Oh, anyway, guys.
But anyways,
I think we've snorted too much drywall powder today. I've
got to do this right here. I'm sorry, guys, but you all won't know, but I've got to do this.
Northern found.
That was just a public service announcement.
Bill says, Robert, do not go to sleep tonight. Hey, I know we've talked
I
about
like my
this.
grandmother. I sleep with one eye open. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that. If you probably have heard the expression, sleeping with one eye open. My grandmother slept with one eye open. And that is a creepy thing to see someone sleep with an eye open.
Yes, Mama, you did.
But yeah, she would. I mean, I didn't really realize that, but I guess she had trained her.
Good to see you, Frank and Tyler.
She had somehow trained herself to do that. And that
would be creepy.
It was
wouldn't
creepy.
It?
I can remember walking in there one time when she was asleep. She was laying there on her back and one eye open and the other one closed. And me and Dad was standing there going, Angeline, you awake? And she's like, yeah. But she sleep one eye closed. That was crazy. So I ain't worried.
He's not worried. When we see you guys in 2 weeks on our next live stream, we'll see.
What are they going to see? They'll see me sitting here perfect, just like I am now.
Oh,
perfect.
His life insurance is paid, Jim, still.
You know, I don't like insurance. There's no risk.
It's a quote from a movie.
Yeah. Most everything I say.
Cynthia says her brother and daughter both slept with both eyes open. That would be odd.
It'd be like, it's in Lord of the Rings. Remember? It's I think it's in the second movie, the Two Towers, and Gandalf's laying over there, and Pippin walks over there to get that orb, and he's laying there with his eyes, sleeping with his eyes open.
Hey, I wouldn't be doing nothing around anybody that had one eye open or both open. I would not be touching anything laying around.
But it's crazy.
I wouldn't want to be there to see that, because that'd be weird. But I know stuff like that, it's natural. Yeah.
I don't know if it's natural or not.
If it wasn't, it wouldn't happen.
I think people just teach themselves to do that stuff.
That's your thoughts on the matter.
Just get me an eye patch.
Jim still says he knows a good taxidermist. You seem to be like someone with some good connections, Jim Steele. I guess it's because you've been around for so long.
You know, I'm pulling this from Jackass.
Okay.
But because remember when Johnny Knoxville took that he's claiming it was his grandmother. She was an actress, and they were going around to taxidermy places to see if they would stuff her after she passed away. They wanted her stuffed and set in a chair, and the one place was
they were going to do it.
So I don't know if you can do that or not. Honestly, guys, I don't know if you could have that done. I mean, I don't know. I do know that you do not have to have a burial plot. Do you all know that? That once...
Hey, Richie, good to see you.
Once the funeral home is done with you...
Go, Kimmy.
You can have that body delivered wherever you want, back to your house. You can actually put a body in your yard. You can have a loved one buried in your yard. And if you do that, what they can't do is come and take your property from you, because then it's considered a graveyard.
There's a loophole to a lot of things,
there,
guys.
but you can be buried in your own yard. We know a guy out Wayne had his wife buried in his yard in a glass top casket, and you could see her in their yard.
Now you think about that. Now
you
that is no joke.
And see her, because he had her in a glass top casket and buried in his front yard.
Now let me tell you, they are,
and that's the truth. I am not lying to you guys.
When you go to their house, you feel a really bad feeling.
That is the truth, because you don't have to be buried in a cemetery.
No, you do not. You do not.
You do not have to be buried. You can. Hey, once you're done with you at the funeral home, well, it's just tradition.
It's tradition
that we take our dead to the burial grave, to the the cemetery, or
Don't do that 5 Mile Rally counter.
bury myself tonight. Unless you're cremated, or then you're going to be put in an urn, and then
Yeah,
of course,
or-
whether you want to have someone spread you out.
Did
there
she have
and-
one eye open eye? Oh, they were both closed, Jim, still. That is disturbing, Joel. That's something
It's the
that.
truth. I mean, I'm not lying to you all about that.
But it
stuff.
is the truth.
It is the truth.
Mhm.
But you can do that stuff. I mean, there's no law against you being buried out in your yard. I mean,
Isn't that a topic of conversation?
well, I mean, Halloween's coming up soon, so
Well, let's see.
I guess we should start talking.
We're
about that stuff.
June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, it's
Well,
closer than it
Well,
was.
I'm one of them people. I can celebrate Halloween year round.
Yes.
I just love that time of year. I mean,
I think Risha with Iron Antler Adventures, she's a Halloween
she
fanatic.
Would,
Yeah.
I think she would side with me that.
Yeah.
I think she Halloween year round. I mean, I just love that time of year, and I love it.
We will not say a word 5
I
Mile.
just like Halloween. It's cool. I mean, I think they always talk about for kids, but shoot, man, Halloween is for adults, man. It needs to be more for adults and kids, anyways. I think because I enjoy decorating and stuff.
Talca Detector, hello.
And they ought to have
Good to
trick or treat
see
night for
you.
adults, where we could go out and you all as neighbors would just hand out the little.
I agree, Richie.
Go buy a bunch of the little airplane bottles of liquor and hand out and snacks like Fritos and Doritos.
Bill says that California does not allow it, or Washington or Indiana state. Every other state, it's legal.
Oh, burying you in your yard? Is that what he's talking about?
I'm most sure.
Probably.
Send those pics.
Well, I
5
figure there
Mile.
would be some. You probably, but there. Hey, West Virginia. I'm assuming. I guess you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something that I was going to say, and it just sort of.
Well, it wasn't nothing important. I can
No.
guarantee
It
you
wasn't
that if it
nothing
was coming out
important.
of your mouth, it was probably garbled.
He's on a roll tonight, isn't he, folks?
Gook and uncomprehendable.
Thanks. I appreciate.
It come out sometimes.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Okay, that's enough there.
Hey, it's my party. And I'll cry if I want to.
I knew that's what you was going to say.
They might cry too. Someone out there, I'm sure, is crying.
I'm sure they are.
I'm sure they're crying a river of tears.
Oh, that's right, Bill.
Streams.
Robert, remember Melissa
What it
cooks
is.
your food, which he's a pretty good cook. So
One tear running.
she's going to spit in your eggs.
Spit in your egg.
Oh, he'd never know.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be awful? I'd never do that to
Oh, you
Robert.
had to think. You had to stop and pause on that one.
I was getting
I
ready
will
to say,
never eat nothing she fixes again, guys.
I was getting ready to say I would never do that. And what I had to go back and rephrase it, I would never do that to Robert. But now if there was someone out there,
I knew
that
them
really
pancakes tasted a little funny there the other day. What'd you put in there?
they have buckwheat flour in them.
Nor was that kitty litter. I think it was kitty litter. It wasn't no buckwheat pancake. It was kitty litter.
I'll flip a few cookies in there. Oh, they're just bacon
No.
bits. They'd be weird looking bacon bits. Wouldn't they, 5 Mile? Lord have mercy. Richie says LOL, sleep with one eye open. But now I'm going to tell you something. Spitting in someone's food. Now that is.
Oh, I just think about you. If you all ever seen the,
that's
I'm
a
sorry
terrible
that
thing.
we always
It'd be like putting a turd in it.
always refer to movies, but it's just what we do. Have you ever seen the movie Casino?
Yes, Jim Steele.
From back at like 1996 with Robert De Niro and
Good movie.
what's his name?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci and Sharon Stone. Well, there's a one part in it where Joe Pesci's brother has a restaurant and they're fixing these sandwiches for the police officers. And man, he wraps it up and takes it out
Or
could you imagine? Oh,
Jay and Silent Bob. Isn't it Jay and Silent Bob where they get the burger and it has flies?
Flies. Yeah.
Flies and piss in the cup.
Yeah, goes in there and gets that ice out of the urinal. Puts in flies on the hamburger.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. Whoa.
I just do not
Richie
eat
says Fresh Step tastes the best.
I just do not eat at fast food restaurants, guys.
I use Arm and Hammer.
Yeah, our hammer in hand is more like what she
Yeah, because you've got a hard hand.
hammer in hand.
Mark says, "Oh, I'm never eating hamburgers again. If you do, take the bun off and look for
Better
flies."
check.
Oh, God. Hey, there's old Danny Boy just a digging.
Hey,
It is so
Danny,
good to
good to
see you.
see
And
you.
tell Talisha hello.
And
We hope
happy
you all
Father's
are well.
Day.
And happy Father's Day,
Absolutely.
Danny. Yes. And everyone else who
And
may have
everyone
missed their
else,
happy
yeah.
Father's Day wishes. We're just
Y'all just
we've talked a
hanging
little
out,
bit of metal detecting and
and some fine,
some things we found, marbles that I found, not
Beard and
we.
Risha, an item that Beard and Risha had found. We tried to help
Yeah.
identify that. I think we did. Honestly, I think we identified that.
I think so.
At least
I feel pretty good about it.
I feel 95% positive that we identified it
Yeah,
for what it was. So,
because you
I mean,
can
if it
always
helps,
think something is
it
one thing.
It could be so. I mean, you never know, but when we seen it, that's what we thought it was. So
That was my first thing. I
Yeah.
said that is the arm to a wall hanging lamp, a bracket.
Yeah, for a
This-
oil lamp.
Yeah,
Like
that's a tiny
this
one.
is a small one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I love the looks of those things, and we have one.
I hate the smell of
We've
them,
got
though.
5, and I've got them placed throughout the house. If we ever lost electricity, we can light those boogers, and we're good to go.
And of course, the house has the high ceilings in it, so you're not going to get the
Yes,
the
black
'cause they
smoke.
well, it's not so much the black
And
smoke
the
as they do have a smell. To
They
them.
do have a smell.
And I mean, when you use that oil like that, but
They
with the high
do.
ceilings, you'd probably not notice it as bad.
Congratulations, Cynthia. She said she found a pretty, all those squished silver ring this week.
Oh wow,
Good deal, Cynthia.
definitely, yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's the thing about silver rings. Doesn't matter if they're squished. Silver is silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
They can be straightened back out. 'Cause
They can be
silver is
straightened back
very
out.
pliable.
Mhm. You straightened out
So,
rings
yeah.
before, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it ain't hard. Which you can get those like the jewelers have that where they put them down on there and
Yeah.
you can get those. I used it. I actually used an old plumb bob to
Yes,
straighten
it
up
works.
rings on. It worked because it tapered.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfectly round and smooth. So I put it down on there, and I had a little bitty hammer, just a little bitty that I bought, and would tamp it down until it would round it, and then turn it over until it would round it right back out.
Yep.
So I mean, you have to kind of. I guess it was thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box. Yes.
So they say. Is that wind?
I don't know. It sounds like wind
That
whistling,
sounds
doesn't
like
it?
wind I'm hearing whistling.
Yes, it is.
It is wind I'm hearing whistling. Wow.
I hear it.
You can't hear much in this house at times, guys. I mean,
Listen to that. Isn't that?
what makes me know that the wind is blowing pretty dang
Maybe it's
hard?
cooling off.
I hope so. Get out there and sit here after a
Yes,
while.
we love to sit.
Oh my gosh, I love watching the creatures of the night come
Oh.
out. When we sit on the stoop at 11, 12 o'clock at night, and the nightlife that comes out is interesting.
Oh, so
It's-
interesting.
it's
Last night there was a
Definitely
gentleman.
interesting.
We ain't in Kansas anymore. That's right, Joel. Last night there was a gentleman We seen him from a distance coming down the sidewalk. He was on a bicycle, but he was pulling something behind him.
I guess he was pulling.
It had to be a dryer with a tarp, and then he had a dolly connected to the back of his bike.
He had a dolly. Had that. I guess it was a dryer because he stopped right across from the house, and he takes the strap off, and it opened like a dryer would in the front. And he gets his backpack out, and then he gets another pack out, and he gets his drink out, and he's standing there getting a big drink of Mountain Dew or whatever it was he was drinking. And then he starts piddling, and man, he stood there messing with that thing for a half an hour. And it's all he could do.
You don't, 5 Mile. That is cool.
What is it?
He found the bottom of a Coke bottle that he thought was going to be whole, but it was from his town. And he didn't know it was manufactured here in the early 1900s. You never know until you find something, especially your creeks, local history.
Yep. You'd be surprised what can be in your creeks.
But absolutely.
Man, it's all he could do to get the thing tilted back. And he finally got it tilted back.
Robert was going to go help him, but he wanted him to try and work on it on his own.
He strapped it to that bicycle, and then off he went. Man, I'm like, okay. I said, I guess he was pulling a dryer is the only thing I could think that was a dryer. But it was heavy, whatever it was, because it's all he could do to get it tilted back on that dolly, which it was one of them dollies that they just had little bitty hockey puck tire wheels.
And new neighbors have moved in down the street. But the landlord did not inform them that there was a
bike shop
in the back. And I think they might wheel and deal with some other things. However,
the bike shop, you've got these guys here around close to us that build their own motorbikes out of bicycles, and they put little motors on them, and they tool around everywhere. Well, they go in between. They go down the street, and it's like, right down in between them two houses to that bike shop.
And where those new people moved in.
I said, well.
And it's all hours of the night. They come and
I guarantee you the landlord didn't put that description.
He put a trampoline up between the houses to block them.
His kid's got a little trampoline, man. He got out there the other day. He pulled the spikes up and stood it up there in between the houses. So
that didn't last long.
I just laugh. It's hilarious.
They'll get in the middle of the street on them bikes and have to push each other. And they look like old men. But
the funny thing is when you see the little kids, they look like they're about 7 years old on the go-karts flying.
And there's 5 or 6 of them on one go-kart from 6 months old to 12.
Oh, and the mom, she's over riding.
And the 3-year-old's doing the driving.
Riding around on the lawnmower.
Mom's on the lawnmower.
Kids on the little.
Their little wheels will turn. They're round, but they turn like they're square sometimes. They cocked to the side.
Oh, but it is. We love
watching them.
The nightlife is
Yes, it's entertaining.
It's amazing.
At the Cove, you saw no one.
I didn't see that stuff.
Squirrels and deer.
See a squirrel or.
I don't miss it, folks. I don't miss it.
Porcupine or something,
We never had any porcupines. Goodness sakes. But
I seen a couple there once. I know there were porcupines.
That's probably the same night you peed in the dog bowl too.
No, I ain't talking about that.
You never saw no porcupines.
They were porcupines because they were pricks. Tell me they wasn't.
The chat is not moving. We've got 12 people and they're listening to every word you're saying.
They're hanging on every word I say. Because they love me so much.
Well, they're listening to our town talk. It is true, Cynthia. We never have our camera with us. We could make a video
of the nightlife.
We've told you about the people on a bicycle pulling a cart with a ladder hooked to another bicycle.
Hooked to
a cart.
You see it all. Man.
These people have.
We're hanging.
We are hanging. And this is no joke, guys. One of these days, we will keep which I know you have to be careful filming people that come over and jump onto you. But it's entertaining at times, especially first of the month when people get their checks and on Fridays and Saturdays. I threw my back out, stuff a turkey. That was a pain getting it in the trunk of my car. Okay, Danny boy. Where do you guys live now? LA. Hey, it is to us, Joel.
Oh no, we just moved back to Huntington,
his
my
hometown.
But it's just it's fun sitting out and watching the nightlife.
We live in a little part of town. It's not a through street, so it's not real busy. In fact, there's how many cars are parked on all three blocks?
It looks like the town that dreaded sundown, man. It's like empty streets.
There are 2 cars on a 3-block area.
Yeah,
there are only like 2 cars
sitting on our block.
Sitting on the block.
So you step out there, it's like, okay.
Because there's a school.
28 days later, man, everyone's
Head
gone.
Start. And then a lot of condemned houses.
You start seeing the zombies come out.
And then people have driveways. But yeah, for 3 blocks, you see 2 cars. So it has its moments.
Yeah,
but
it's quiet. But it's just
to be in town.
Just seeing the people that walk and ride the bikes at nighttime. It can be
sounds special.
It can be fun.
Some of them are very special, Joel.
Yeah.
You can tell that they have challenges. So you have to pray for those and overlook them. And
it's sad sometimes too, guys.
Richie says, I can picture
that you can see people that they're hooked on, drugs, pills, whatever.
And that's something I'm not used to seeing.
It's sad when you see them and they cannot control themselves and their bodies and any of their actions. And because like I've told you all, me and Melissa are people watchers. We love to sit and watch.
We do, and listen.
And it's really disturbing sometimes to see what people let themselves get in, the shapes they let themselves get into. And it's from drugs or whatever, and it is. And I don't know. It's
See you, Marty Verstahl. Thanks for joining us.
It's sad.
No, they don't roll up inside the walls, Jim Steele.
And to bring anyone down or anything tonight. It's just it is.
It is.
And you feel helpless. You ain't nothing you can do for them.
It's a part of life that we've never experienced, and now we're seeing how some others
told Melissa,
live.
we lived in town, and then we moved out to where she grew up when her mom got sick 20 years ago, guys. And we stayed.
And
it's not the best thing. It's not good to what?
Joel said, hold on, my belly hit a button. Okay, Joel.
Belly button. But it's not good to hide yourself away from things. It's not.
We sat on our sun porch with the binoculars, Richie.
Yeah. You like to watch the girls over on the other corners. But it is. It's I don't know. I don't
People
know,
live
guys.
Different lives.
It makes you appreciate things a lot more at times, and then you want to help people, but you don't. A lot of these people
you put up a barrier.
You can't approach them. They're
it's like feeding a stray cat.
And then some of they're just not. You're like, you have no clue what they're doing, what they even could be capable of. So it's just you just sit and watch them. Go on.
Yeah, there's this one lady. She's nice to us and respectful to us. However, we've seen a different side of her at other times. But she doesn't have any place to go, so she's just staying here. Not here, but next door or 2 blocks down. And she says she's just trying to get back home to family if they'll have her. And you can tell at one time she's been a lovely lady. Yeah. She really has been a pretty somebody, but time takes its toll on those. And she's not even my age.
Yeah, it is.
And there's things I want to do and offer and say, hey, here. But she would come and knocking on our door and say,
oh, yeah, we're safe,
And as long as you're safe. Yes, Joe, we are safe. But then she'd come knocking on our door if we let our guard down saying, hey, can I hang out with you all for a few days? And you never know, things could walk off and disappear. So you have to be careful. We gave a few bucks to this guy once about 10 years ago. He still stands on the same street holding a sign. Saw him in a store and he was bragging about how much food stamps he gets.
Oh, man.
See?
They've bragged here in this town. There's a couple of them bragging. They make $300, $400, $500 a day standing down there next to Walmart.
To Walmart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And they bragged about.
Well, one dude rode in and he followed.
He knew the guy. He went to
school with him and followed him because he knew he was not a bum. He knew he had. And what he does is dress up in old clothes and dirties himself up.
Colonel's collecting and detecting.
Goes out and gets his sign and stands there and makes $300, $400 a day.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks, Colonel's collecting. Thanks. But yeah, so I think
every town has a donate job.
I use my gut feeling when I see someone with a sign.
There are times that
There's times that I'll give a couple of, but then there's
not
times
large amounts
that I won't.
But there's times that we
because I
don't.
always use my personal instinct and my own gut feeling.
Yeah. And we've noticed that a lot of people will stand at the on and off ramps to the busy highways with their dogs.
Yeah.
And so that dog is to help people be like, oh, that poor pet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is that poor pet because today was a very hot day and there was a man standing with his
down
pet.
Here, 3-4 blocks down at the off ramp.
Yes.
And standing there with it. And that poor dog sitting there just looked like it was dying.
It was panting.
Because it was 90 degrees here today.
And I think now that just burns my biscuit.
Yeah, because they're using the dog as a means of pity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it makes me so angry. I could just walk up to him and say, let me have your dog. I'm going to take it with me.
Yeah,
but, you just can't do that.
Yeah. But yeah,
exactly, Danny boy. You think about that, $300 and $400 a day, and this is not a lie. This person made it public. Said, "Hey, do not give to this individual." I went to school with him.
He don't need the money.
He don't need the money. He's making $300, $400 a day off of you folks.
Yeah.
Plus, people, of course, give them food.
Mm-hmm.
If they have their pet, they will give their pet food and bowls of water. They give them jugs of water.
We've seen people come out Texas Roadhouse and hand bums
It is animal cruelty, Cynthia, and I think the law enforcement needs to do something about that.
Give them the bags of food from where they
took home Humane Society
took home their leftover, and because they have a dog out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, guys, we haven't talked much shop tonight, but
no, like I said, we haven't done a lot of metal detecting here. We've got some places we're going to be hitting. We got plenty of videos coming out. They're not the most spectacular, but we're just metal detectors. We're not magicians. We just
that might work, Danny boy.
We just find what's under the ground. So
he says, when I go back to the beach, I'm writing on the back of the T-shirt, searching for dinner money.
Heck yeah. Yep.
They'll feel sorry for you and they'll give you something to eat.
I don't know how I want to put this. You go to the store, you have people sitting out with their tables and their product out there that they're trying to sell, and they want their donations. And I understand that, and I don't mean to be an ass, but sometimes I'll tell them, you want to make a donation. I said, you know what, guys, I need my own donation.
And he does. He'll say, I need my own donation.
I need my own donation. I ought to be just standing out here myself with a sign. I need a donation. I mean, what do you need it for? Nothing. I just need one.
You're asking for one.
You're asking for one because that's what it seems like anymore. I need a donation.
Everybody. There was, and I kid you not, this has been 2 or 3 weeks ago. We were driving down the west end of town, and there was these kids out on the corners holding signs, and their sign said, please donate to the elite of Huntington. Please donate to the elite of Huntington. I'm like, I told Robert, I said, I'm going to say something. He said, no, don't
Wait
say
a minute. I don't know what the elite is, but I know what in
my mind
what the elite
are
well-to-do people that have money, have power, and it's donate to the elite. Well, I do that every daggone day when I pay taxes. I'm donating to the elite. I ain't giving nothing to you.
But this is my gripe. If kids, and these were school-age children,
we were out working.
Yes, people
in high school
used to work for their donations. They'd either sell candy, they'd
we
have
had
car washes.
We sold we had bake sales. We
do something to earn that donation.
When we had money to go, like on our class,
it could be calling.
When we wanted to go on our class trip, we got out every weekend and we had car washes, and through the week at school we had bake sales and sold candy and stuff like that. And to earn our money for our stuff. Now it's just stand out there and give me. Here, give me. I want to buy a snorkel unit. Give me some money.
Jim Steele says, Melissa, when's the vid coming out of you?
I've got
cast iron skillet.
I've got a good job, you know, but I need
Jim,
money to go.
I
got to go buy something, so you pay it for me, even though I work.
I can't. I understand people want to raise money for good causes.
If it's a good cause.
If it's a good cause.
But we will pull their chain on these donation places that'll call us, because we'll put them on the spot.
ASPCA.
And ask them how much of this is going actually
They disappointed me, folks.
Yeah, when it's like 1% of what you give them actually going to what it's going for, and the rest of it goes into someone else.
They have a wonderful cause, but when you break down the percentages of how much the money of your donation actually goes toward that cause, it makes you, that don't sound fair. Jim is old school.
But I mean, it's just, I understand, but I get tired of seeing people begging and bumming.
Anyhow, enough of that.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
Let's go detecting.
Let's go detect. Well, I think it's a little dark. What time is it?
It's 9:16.
And we have street lights because
it's storming.
Listen, the thunder is still rolling.
As the thunder rolls.
And the lightning strikes. That's an oldie too, isn't it, folks? Yeah, but no, I don't know how much more.
Neon signs and thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And just because I'm drunk don't mean you're right.
He's on a roll, folks.
Cause see, let me see. I bet it says it right there.
Yes, Colleen, I agree.
Oh no, it didn't say it. Sorry about that, guys. Momentary lapse there.
You hit the wrong button. Let's go detecting with a bunch of crackheads. And now I tell you, it is sad when we are detecting here in town and on curb strips, the people that walk by. And
I'm going to tell you, one of the saddest things is when you're walking in your park and where the parking lot is, and there's needles, and where kids play, and there's needles laying there.
What'd you get, a water bottle to scoop that up?
Yeah. I seen that one in there that day. I said, and needle right there on it, no cap on it. I says, I got a water bottle and scooped it up, and man, that's not cool.
I see Annabelle is going behind the door.
Tell you guys, if you are metal detecting in areas, because there's a lot of you out there. I know that metal detect in areas that's got a lot of that going on. Be careful when you get down on your knees, or if you're in grass, tall grass, you got to watch.
And I am so bad, guys. As soon as I start digging, I get that knee down, or both of them. You got
to look where you put your knees down and your hands before you start. If you're in tall grass and you're in especially like us right now, where we have been detecting around a lot of these old dilapidated houses that's been used for squatting and drug hangouts, and they just throw their needles at you. tell Melissa, watch, please be careful. And I try to have to do that.
You
myself.
don't get down on your knees
as much as
no,
you do.
stand.
I'll
I
just
always get
bend
on my
over.
knees to
But
dig.
a lot of times, there's
That's
those
just my
times though
habit.
that I will, but I'll try to make sure that where I'm putting my knees, there is nothing there. But it's the same. You might put it down on a piece of glass.
Yes.
Or a nail. You always got to try to be careful that
when
you put it down on a rattlesnake or where a cow's left his mud, or something like that.
He's got to go to
you got to be careful. 1 out of 10, you
knee pads with metal knees and get those gloves that you cannot cut through.
Yeah, we have a pair of the non.
It's used, Danny boy.
I despise using gloves, Danny. Oh, I have cut my fingers.
Yes.
Several times.
And I need knee pads. I truly do.
Now knee pad, I couldn't. They'd be down around my.
It is, Marlon. It can be, and you have to be careful.
So I always try to tell people, be careful if you're hunting those areas. That's like Corey, the treasure hunter out there, and which he moved.
Yeah.
But he's in an area where there's, he's
no
millions
5
and
mile.
millions
Unfortunately, no
people, and he hunts in a lot of areas where homeless people hang out a lot. You have to be careful. He's careful with that stuff, and you always got to be mindful that that's out there, because we have metal detecting found several needles on curb strips. We hunt curb strips quite a bit, and we have found needle. We found drugs. We actually found one day we were metal detecting. We actually Melissa found a little baggie of
You'll get out soon, Danny.
A little baggie of white powder.
Just hang in there.
That was, you can see where it had been tied off, and like they do, just laying right out in front of a house where there's all these kids' toys laying in the yard and on the curb strip. And then here's this little baggie of some kind of white powdery substance. So we flagged an officer down and give it to him.
Gosh.
She's telling us it's getting time for us to wrap this up this evening, but and give it to the officer, and so that it, and that it, try to keep that in mind. If you find stuff like that, that's what we did. That's just how I felt. I should, because we called 911. Well, we didn't. We had a girl. There was a young lady coming out of the apartment, and I said, "Do you have your cell phone on you?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Could you please call 911 for me? We just found this baggie of drugs." And so she called, and we're telling them, and oh, just throw it away.
Just throw it away. That's what they said. Just throw it away.
Well, I'm standing here on a curb strip.
That's sad, Richie. It is.
In town, and you're telling me
Danny.
to throw it away. I said, I'm not throwing this away. So we found an officer. I flagged him down. And
don't want to crack it.
And gave it to him. And, he appreciated the fact that we did that. And
yes, Marlon, I agree with that. He says, usually cops need confiscated goodies for the office party.
So, that's the best thing to do in a situation like that. If you find something like that, just try to find you an officer and give it to him.
But you do, even though metal detecting is such an innocent hobby, it has its dangers.
Yeah, well,
you have to be careful.
You have to be careful.
You truly do.
I mean, it's sad that you have to in such a innocent hobby. I mean, because
yes, Marlon, yes,
it is. We're just out here looking for history, treasure. I mean, whatever the case may be that you're interested in. Some people do metal detecting nothing more than for the material, the gain of monetary gain of finding
silver,
money, silver, gold. Find gold rings. They go take them in. We've
been guilty of it.
Sold some gold rings. We ain't found a lot of gold rings, but we have sold some.
Yep.
And silver, and they're in for it for that. And you have the ones that's truly in for just the history and sharing that history and finding history.
I like all the
preserving history,
except pull tabs.
We don't just stop ourselves at any one thing. We like to find it all. We like to find relics. We don't find a lot of relics. We like to find
Yes,
silver.
so
We don't
Danny
find
boy,
a lot of
that's
silver.
unfortunate.
We like to find all that rings and jewelry. We don't find a lot. We have found our fair share of it, but we just like the fact getting out and metal detecting and seeing what, I always say that the excitement is you never know what
You
you're
do not
going to
know.
pop out of that hole. You might think you know what it is
based on that tone and that number.
and because you might have found something at that tone or number before, but
Mhm.
doesn't always mean that that's exactly what it is.
It's always
So,
a surprise.
Always a surprise, guys. And,
it is.
like I said, yeah, Annabelle's telling us it's time
Let
to
me
shut
tell
the
you.
corner down.
She is our alarm clock.
Oh my goodness, this morning that cat.
She wants outside.
Yeah.
On the
she's
deck, because
on
we've
the
been
deck.
letting her on the deck. We've
Because
enclosed it.
the other
Robert
cats that
enclosed it.
run the neighbor around here that we've been feeding, of course, it's like they're all out in front of the house now, just laying there waiting. You open the door, it's like, okay, there's cats. No.
Couldn't you just tell him just to shut his pie hole, Danny boy? He says, one day I was out digging a small plug, and this little girl said to his dad,
You're
look,
ruining
he is running the grass.
Oh, you're ruining the grass.
You'll shut your pie hole.
Yeah. Get out here before I kick your ass.
We're looking for bones.
Yeah, we're looking
little
for
small
bones.
children.
Little small children is
shouldn't
what
say
we're
that.
looking for.
I don't mean to think by
No.
but to scare them.
Well, I told kids that one time. What are you digging for? I said, I'm looking for buried bodies, body parts.
He has said it, folks. Oh, you never know what he's going to say and where.
Little grass monkeys running around. Well, they are. So get away from
That grass will never recover. Yeah,
Shoe fly.
Never will.
Shoe fly don't bother me, man. I'm detecting. Can't you see I'm detecting here?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm trying to detect here.
But everyone that walks by, they always say, find anything good? If you find that gold ring.
I say, I lost a gold ring there the other day. If you find it, I want it back. So, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I sure will. Right on, buddy.
Marlon says when kids ask him if he's dug up anything good recently, I say I dug up my old school teacher. Got a really nice Halloween skull, one of the toolboxes on the treasure seeker. Oh my gosh, Marlon, that is a good one.
Yeah, definitely, that is a good one.
I
like that.
Good one.
Oh shoot! But yeah, hey, it's just all in fun when you mess with kids.
It is all in fun, but you still have to be careful.
Yeah, they go run, but Daddy, they're looking for buried kids.
They're looking for
body parts, bones.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the number one question. Yes,
finding
finding a lot of.
No, a lot of trash.
You have to be careful
tabs.
if you do find something good. You have to be careful and maybe
Who
not
you
blur it out.
Who
I found a.
Oh yeah, I just found this 24 karat gold ring. Could be worth $5,000. Croak. You're laying over there. Oh, what happened, man? Where am I?
Where's your ring?
Where'd my ring go?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I usually say
it's best just to say,
if it's
not really.
If it's an older person and you can tell they're interested in metal detecting,
It's someone you might be able to knock down easy.
Oh golly,
Take their leg out real quick, knee.
Robert, pull their diaper down.
Yeah, pull the diaper. Oh shoot!
Oh, I would never do that, guys.
No, she wouldn't. She just thinks it.
I do think it. I don't.
You know what the good
fast
book
enough.
says about that? If you think it, you might as well do it.
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
gosh.
Well, we've got 7 people. We
Yeah,
were down
no
to
wonder.
5.
No wonder. The debauchery, they're leaving.
Oh, Danny boy.
What was it?
He said, ask what I was looking for on the beach. And I said, my wife, I forgot to take the gold ring off. Alicia, watch out.
It tells them, man, I paid a lot for that ring. ain't leaving it behind. Give it to the next wife.
Cynthia says, when I go to the park, I look like the Pied Piper. Tons of kids follow me. That's me, Marlon. Most of the time, I'll just say just pennies.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm afraid to say quarters.
Pennies, dimes, nickels.
Yeah.
Pull tabs.
Ooh,
Plenty of
Lucky
pull
Duck
tabs.
Digger. I'm sure is a pretty summery color. She just finished sewing a new summer bag.
Cool. Oh. My cheeks are hurting.
It's been a fun
It's
evening.
been fun, guys. Yeah, we're going to
We try to talk more shop, folks, as you all know. But
yeah,
this
sometimes,
evening was,
we've
just not been doing a lot.
My mind wanders, Like,
Yeah, he's getting older in his old age. So.
I go off on something. Get away. Hey, get away here.
There is a neighbor down the street, and we can see him when he gets on his porch.
He's got one of them
because he always swings.
fly.
He's got one of those flies. And
Electric,
you'll see him
out there.
And we see
With one of them little electric fly swatter, look like a little tennis racket.
his little arms.
You see him down there, it's just a swinging that thing around. And then Rick's down there swinging at the flies.
Thank you, Marlon.
Guys, we've been on here an hour and a half. We're
Yes,
out
we
of
have.
here. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out
Absolutely.
with
We
us
appreciate
tonight.
each and every one of you all for stopping in
And
here
hope you
this
got a
evening.
laugh tonight. And we'll not be seeing you next weekend.
No.
It'll be 2 weekends before you
Yeah.
see us. But we will
Hopefully,
be back.
we will get some detecting in.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but we
weather
have
permitting.
videos. We've got one coming out Monday. I don't even remember what it is. That's sad. I don't know what Monday's video is about.
I don't either.
I'm sure it's
5 Mile Relic Cutter
I'm sure
says
it's
it's off
pretty-
the rails.
pretty decent. You might want to watch about 5 seconds of it. Flip through it.
Silly.
Guys, thanks for stopping by. And as
Thanks, Jim Steele.
always, if you lose it,
We find it
and we'll see you all.
on that first good Cobra find. Good night, everybody. We'll leave you with this.
Why, Lord?